I am Scrum Master for Capitole Consulting, and I appreciate that you've taken our time to be here with us today. I'm going to start sharing, and before I start, I'm going to let you know that I'll prefer more of an interactive session. Feel free to stop me in between if you have a question, a comment, or a doubt. And let's just enjoy and learn together. Let me start sharing. Let me know if you can see my screen, please.
Yes.
All right. So our topic for today is AI powered agile, the future of work. As we all know, AI is the revolutionary thing happening not only in the tech space but in the world today. So I believe that this session is going to help us to understand how we're going to navigate this new way of working, this new companion or co-pilot that we have in our workspace. So this is our beginning topic. Our agenda for today is as follows. We are first of all going to look at the introduction, and then next we'll talk about the risks involved in ignoring AI in an AI-powered world. Then we'll look at some common AI models. We'll discuss a little bit about prompts and its vital role in utilizing AI. And then we'll jump over to how Agile and AI intersect. Um, Taking a bit of example of some AI enhanced agile practices, then the role of an agile coach or a scrum master in an AI powered future, some ethical constraints and challenges, and then conclusions. And as I said before, please feel free to interrupt me, raise your hands, let me know if you have something to say or comment as we discuss. Okay. So thank you all for coming. As I said earlier, as we all know, AI is revolutionizing the workspace right now. It is the happening thing in the world, and it is quite frankly affecting every area of work. Most people really think it's all about the tech space, but it is functional in every area. It does not matter if you're in agile or in your marketing or construction. AI is really there to just change things. So we are going to look today at how we can utilize AI to further promote work, to facilitate life for us as employees and as business owners, or wherever it is that you're focused on. How we can manage this co-pilot to be more productive and get better customer satisfaction. What are the risks that we are as individuals are facing if we're ignoring the arrival of AI? As we know, AI is taking the center stage in all sectors, and there are three sets of people at this moment. There are those that have accepted that AI has come to stay, and they're making small changes in order to assimilate the arrival of AI. There are those that are in denial. It's not going to affect me. I'm not in the tech space, so it's none of my business. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and nothing is going to change. And then there's those that are still in fear, in panic, thinking that they're going to lose their jobs because AI is here and all of that. Now, in all these categories, the worst set of people are the people who are not making any kind of changes to assimilate this growth that is happening, because it's going to affect us one way or the other. As we already see, there are lots of people who are losing jobs because of the arrival of AI. There are people who are not able to get access to new roles because of the same arrival of AI. And the people who are already in their job space, they have this job, but they are unable to advance because they are in denial. What I'm doing, that has nothing to do with AI. It's people centered, and AI is not going to do that for me. So what are the risks that are involved? First of all, there's a reduced competitive advantage for people who are not taking small steps towards assimilating this change. The job market is every day becoming more and more competitive. I was checking LinkedIn the other day, and I saw that new roles, the same roles that were before, like product owner, now it's looking like product owner with AI, Scrum Master with AI. So there is this great need for those that are going to get into the job market right now, to have a sense of direction when it comes to utilizing AI to work. So if you are in a space where you're looking at, getting into another area to work, and you have no idea on how to utilize AI, I think there is this competitive advantage that you're not having, which other people who are making those changes are going to be enjoying. And then the second set of disadvantage is those who are already they have their dream jobs, they're working, but they are not making any kind of changes to learn a little bit about AI, to learn how they can incorporate AI into their workspace. Um, it is going to limit their career growth. How is it going to look like? Most of the tools that us as employees are using today, most of them already have AI incorporated in them. Jira, Miro, Teams, most of them already have AI incorporated in them. It is left to you as an employee to decide whether you want to learn how to use the other side that has been incorporated to this tool that you've been using to, make your work easier, to easily prepare reports, for example, or create documents, meetings, or stuff like that. Now, if another employee who's at the same level with you is able to use these tools better than you because they know how to use AI, they stand a better advantage of having a career growth before you. So this is such a disadvantage for those who are not yet working as to those who are already working. The third disadvantage that I was able to look at was the reduced impact. So imagine having a tool that already has AI incorporated within it and you're bent on doing things manually. So you know what you're supposed to be doing. But before the arrival of AI, it was a great deal. You know what you're supposed to be doing, you were doing so, but you were taking so much more because you had to do everything manually. But now with AI implemented in the tools the everyday tools that you'd been using before, you're not using them, then all of this knowledge that you could actually put into place easily and get more time and diversify your resources, your time into doing other stuff, you're not doing them. Your impact in the company is not really felt, because you are bent on doing things the same way manually your entire life. So these are some of the risks. As you all know, there are many other risks that people are facing right now because they are in denial of what AI is capable of doing. um I could not gather much more because we only have an hour, and my whole idea is for us to have a discussion. Maybe some people will come up later and tell us more risks that they're facing in their day-to-day life when it comes to incorporating AI into their work. So these three, I hope that it gives you some kind of sense of direction as to what is happening today when it comes to AI and getting a job, maintaining a job, or career growth. What are some of the common AI models that are known? I remember some time ago, probably a year or so, when I heard about AI, the first thing that came to my mind was ChatGPT. And I'm sure that there are many other people who are in the same space right now that when you say AI, the first thing that comes to your mind is ChatGPT or Gemini, as it is called. But there are many other AI models that are used today. ChatGPT normally falls under the generative AI. What is it used for? It generates new contents from existing data, like text, images, videos, and all the stuff. You can require anything. You can ask it to edit stuff for you, put it there, and it will give you answers. And that's the most common. That's the one that is taking the center stage when it comes to AI right now. I believe that even people who have never taken any course on AI, who have not gotten a job yet, somebody knows how to use ChatGPT somewhere. And then we have predictive AI. The whole idea about predictive AI is power, its ability to analyze patterns from historical data to predict future events. It is great to anticipate tendencies for those that are working in a space where they need to get tendencies ahead of time to diversify resources and stuff like that. Predictive AI is one that will really work much for them. And then we have conversational AI. I'm sure that this one is also very common because nowadays chatbots is a thing. Um, it uses natural language and models to interact in a natural way with interfaces. We're able to, most websites now already have chatbots incorporated with them, that you get into a website and then you have a chatbot there that is willing to talk with you, what do you need, and give you answers, more or less like you were talking to some other person, but just helping you navigate the website. Then we have optimization AI. The whole idea of it is to resolve complex problems, finding the best possible answer, the best possible solution. So imagine you're working in probably mathematics related field, and you have a question, a very, very complex question, and there are multiple solutions, optimization AI will be the one to help you sort out which one is the best option to solve the problem. And life is going to just be easier if we lean towards using it in our day-to-day tasks. And then there is detection of abnormalities AI. um, in areas like banking and finance, it is really, really common because it is used to detect abnormalities and changes in data. That is, it helps to detect fraud for security purposes. These are just a few that I've been able to come up with, but the list is quite long, and I've tried to go from the most commonly used ones. I've not included anyone that has to do with videos and images. Like I said, the list is quite long, but these are the few ones that I was able to come up with. And just to explain to you how long the list is, and the possibilities are just endless. It depends. Like, that's what I'm saying. AI is touching every field. It's not just tech, it's marketing, it's tech, it's construction, it's transport, it's logistics, everything. There's just answer for every question in every field. The only thing is, individuals and employees in these sectors need to find a way to understand which one actually works best for them to ease life in their day-to-day activities. And then we'll talk about prompts. I know for a fact that I've had people reach out to me, friends, and their main issue was, oh, you know how to use AI a little bit. I have this question. Could you write it down for me and find out the answer that comes from it? And I always tell them, you need to learn to write a prompt. And the question they always ask me, what is a prompt? A prompt is a text input that you provide to an AI model. We already discussed about AI models before, and it will help it generate a specific response. So your ability to generate a prompt would determine the kind of answer that you get. So the quality of the answer that you get from an AI model is proportional to the quality of the prompt that you put in it. So you should be able to ask a question. You should be able to be really specific. If you just go to AI and say, write me a story about apples, it's going to give you probably 100 pages of whatever about apples. Very, very vague, a lot of information. That's not specific. But if you're able to, give it a specific context and narrow it down, you're going to get a really specific answer, and you get a very interesting story. Now the question goes, what actually makes a good prompt? Everybody can ask a question, but what makes my question or my prompt different from yours when it comes to requiring answers and responses from AI? Number one, we're going to discuss about the role. Um, First of all, you have to tell AI how to act. You have to tell AI what role to take. For example, take on the role of an expert Scrum Master, um, draft a retrospective agenda for my team. I'm just giving a short example. You have to give AI a role. There is a bunch of information there that AI already have, respective of all the topics that you want. So you need to tell AI what to do. What role am I taking? I could talk to you about Agile, I could talk to you about waterfall, I could talk to you about marketing, but what role do you want me to take? So I think the first part of writing a prompt is giving AI a role. Take on a role of this, a Spanish stories guide, an expert in AI. Those are just examples, but it is very, very important that you give it a role so that it narrows down from where the answers are coming from. The second part is giving it an objective. You have to specify the goal. What is the objective of this answer that AI is going to give you? So take on the role of an expert Scrum Master, for example. Your objective is to give me a very simple agenda for my retrospective. So now it is, the more specific your prompt is, the more specific your answer is going to look like. So it's very, very important that you not only give it an a role, but you tell it why, what objective. I'm giving you the answers, but for what reason? Because that is how it begins to guide the answers that you're going to get. Also, we're going to add it a style. If you give it a style in writing, it's going to make it easier depending on the information that you're asking. It is not necessary in every case that you ask for a style, but I like to add it because it really makes a difference if it's a persuasive writing to a narrative writing. So if you're going to ask AI to write a story, let's say you want AI to generate a story for kids, then you're going to want to ask it to give it like a narrative style, and then it makes more sense. The next one is a tone. The tone is really, really important. What tone should AI take? Respectful, empathetic, warm, um, those are small characteristics that you need to add to every prompt that you're writing. You decide whether or not the tone is important to you. If it's not important, it's fine, but it depends on the quality of the information that you're looking for, where you're going to use the information, your audience. For example, if your audience, if it's in your workspace, for example, you're going to ask something about a retrospective, you want for your tone to be empathetic because you want to create an environment where the team members can actually feel like you're not attacking them. I understand that we're not able to get to this point. This is how we're going to get about it, or how we're going to get about it. The words that AI is going to use when you give it a specific tone differs, and it makes a whole difference. And then you have to define the audience. Who are the audience? Who am I giving these answers to? So if your AI is going to give you a response to a group of experienced Scrum Masters, it's different to the response it's going to give to new Scrum Masters. So it's very, very important that you define the audience, because it selects particular words that you give that will help the people to understand more or less where it's coming from and where they're going to. And then the format. This is my favorite part, because sometimes you want to go straight to the point, or maybe you want to write an essay on a particular topic, then you want paragraphs. If you want to ask for directions, then you want it to be in bullet forms, because you just want to go reading really fast. So to the best of my ability, these are the characteristics that make a good prompt. Is this all? I'm not sure. I'm sure that many of you have other characteristics that you add for your prompts to be better. But like I would normally say, it's good to try, and then from the answers that you get, you try to add more, reduce more. When you give it a prompt, wait for the answers that come, and then you keep editing to see what really works best for you, depending on the situation, depending on the quality of the response that you're seeking and the audience. So I think a week or so ago, I was in Madrid for a conference, and unfortunately, the conference was arranged and it was prepared to be in Kinopolis. It's an area that I'd never been to before, and I found it really, really difficult to get back to the airport from there. But I did know that I did not want to take a taxi, because I'd gotten there from the airport using a taxi. So I'd never tried using AI as a tourist guide, and this was my opportunity. So I tried to give it a prompt, and this was the prompt that I used. I said to take on the role of an expert tourist guide who resides in the city of Madrid and is well versed with the functioning of the public transport system. Now, the objective. Your objective is to guide a tourist who is presently at Kinopolis, the city of images, and has no idea how the public transport system works, but wants to go to the Madrid International Airport. Now, let your writing style be narrative and your presentation be done in a bullet form, and then your tone be empathetic. I need you to be empathetic, because I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know how I'm going to move from here. And I know that many of us go on vacations during the summer, during Christmas, and I'll encourage for you to try and use AI as your tourist guide for once, when you go on a trip, and see how good it works for you. I was really, really lucky, because when I input this prompt in Gemini, the description was really, really simple. What transport system to take, what time it is gonna come, where to stop, where to. It was just so simple. It was easy to move around from. If you've been in Madrid before, you know where Kinepolis is. It's really far from the airport. It's from the city center. It's so far. So it was easy for me to get from there to the airport without any issues, because I had like a written guide in bullet form, which actually in that situation, that was what I wanted. I did not want paragraphs. I wanted a bullet form, something that was easy to use. So this is just an example of how AI can work for you in any environment. It does not have to be in work. You could want to prepare a meal that you just heard about it on TV. If you ask AI to take on the role of an expert chef and give it all the information and the context, you get a good recipe for a meal that you want to prepare. So it just depends on what you want to start with. You might want to say, okay, in my place of work, I cannot input all of the data because of privacy reasons. But in my private life, I want to try and start using it. I want to see how well it can work for me. So play around with it a little bit at home and see the answers that you get. Probably start from things that you already know, compare the answers that you're getting from there from what you already know, and see the quality of the answers. And then from there, you start escalating one day at a time. Okay, now we're going to talk on the intersection of AI and Agile. the combination of AI and Agile is a fascinating thing that is going to help companies experience wonders when it comes to delivering, high quality products. While Agile is focused on iterative development, customer feedback, and continuous improvement, AI's ability is to process vast data or vast amounts of data, automate tasks, and produce predictive analysis. Now, with these two areas put together, you can imagine the amount of productivity that companies are going to have. So, while many people feel like AI is going to take away my job, I'm one of the people that think AI is not going to take away your job. Someone who knows how to use AI will take away your job because I would say AI is the best thing that will happen to the agile world as at now because 20 people could do the work of 40 people with the use of AI. We could automate task testing, writing of test case scenarios, give that to AI, report writing, and then focus on what we can actually do manually or, focus on more important tasks. So, if you're an agile coach here or you're in the agile world, you should help your teams to embrace the synergy of AI, encourage your teams to, use it to the best they can to get better results. There is a high level of innovation that is about to hit the market. Companies are going to experience unparalleled efficiency with the arrival of AI, and customer satisfaction is going to be way better. If organizations, let's start from the organizations because you might decide that you want to use it, but it depends also on the organizations. If organizations are willing to embrace AI with what they're working on right now, there will be a great amount of gain in the near future. Most people look at it as AI is the future. I like to look at it like it's the present. It's been here for like a few years, and companies that have embraced it can testify to how it's making life easy for them. So I'm encouraging each and every one of us who's here to find a way to assimilate it one day at a time. I'm not saying to go and revolutionize everything that you're working on the same day with AI, but take it one day at a time. Start from small tasks, investigate on your own first, see the answers that it gets you, and then escalate from there. Okay, what are some agile enhanced practices that AI enhanced practices in agile that we can actually take into consideration now? Automation testing is one of them. Um, AI tools can significantly better the test automation, guess test case scenarios, generate those tests, execute them, analyze them. There's just a lot that AI can do in the area of testing that will reduce the work of a manual tester. I know there are many systems that may automate testing for us, but what if you were able to incorporate AI into the testing system, then your QA will be more focused on other stuff that are more important, or maybe giving it another look at what AI has done just to be sure that everything is okay. But I'm sure that the testing area, when it comes to agile, and software development, AI can actually handle it if it is done properly, and the results are going to be much more better and it's going to be easier on the teams. And then there is predictive analytics for agile teams. Um, Normally we work with a whole bunch of data to know if your team is predictable, to know if this product that you're building is going to be accepted in the market based on your past experiences, to know if this team is functioning. All of that works with a lot of data. So if AI is given the opportunity to analyze this data, it is able to predict possible bottlenecks. Based on the data that we have, you're going to have bottlenecks in a couple of sprints, or you're going to have risks here or opportunities here. All of that is going to be able to help teams to make data-driven decisions early enough, optimize resources, allocate these resources, prioritize what tasks they're going to be working on, identify areas of improvement. All of that will be done if we are able to give AI enough data to work with. And then there's automated reporting and documentation. As we all know, in just like in the agile space, like in marketing, like in logistics, transport, and all of those, every area works with its own amount of reporting, monthly, weekly, daily, at the end of the queue, at the end of the fiscal year. AI can generate those reports. As a matter of fact, I know that in my company, in my organization, we already have AI generating our reports. It makes life really, really easy for me as a scrum master, because if I have to discuss with my managers about certain areas of my work, all I have to do is filter these reports that AI generates, and then we discuss on them. Now imagine for a moment that I had to be the one to manually generate these reports. These are things that were done in the past. People used to prepare the reports from start. We have Excel sheets, Power BI, and stuff like that. It takes a whole lot of time. But now I just have to make sure that everything that my team is doing is placed in the system and on time, so that AI is able to give me the reports when I want them. So I can generate a report for what my team has been working on for the past year. I don't have to do that manually. I can do that on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, or by sprints. So if we're able to leave that side, for me, it's happening now. The side of reporting is entirely done by AI, and that is like maybe 10-15% of my time daily preparing those reports. I don't have to do that. I'm now focused on maybe looking at the roadmap or the design of the product that we're working on, because I know that the reports are going to be, done on time and excellently. And then the area of documentation is another one. All I need to do is gather the information and just dump it there. It prepares the documentation for me. So in most organizations, it's already happening. Like I said, tools like Jira already have AI incorporated in them. Mural, most of them have AI already incorporated in them, that during your retro sessions, you can take advantage of those AI tools and, make life easier for you. What actually is the role of an agile coach in the AI-powered future or present? AI literacy. As an agile coach, I take pride in trying to understand what I can do for my team, or how I can help my team with regards to AI and our work. I personally try to learn and see new courses, what I can do, what I can study to help my team understand the concept of, what is about to happen. AI is here. How can we, do these tasks that we have in less time? Can we take these test case scenarios and use AI to generate them so that we are focused on other stuff? Can we do this testing with AI so that we can do other stuff? It is me. I take pride in that, and I let my team, let's try and do this. Maybe this sprint we take a story. Let's try and generate test case scenarios with this story and see how it goes. And then we compare it with the ones that we did manually. Just check the differences. So I feel like these are one of the roles that an agile coach or a scrum master should be able to do. Get AI literacy. Try to understand what AI is all about. You cannot be an agile coach now and you have absolutely no idea on how to navigate your world right now with AI. It's something that I don't understand how it can happen. So I encourage you, if you're an agile coach, a scrum master, please take time to understand what is happening in the AI news, the newsletters that you can subscribe to. You can learn yourself, because I remember that I started teaching myself how to use AI. I needed to understand how to write prompts. I never got to officially learn how to write them. I started small, I made mistakes, I, kept editing. Then I went to videos, and I'm escalating from there one day at a time. So with ethical leadership, you do not only have to teach your team how to use AI or the best way to use them. You would have to also teach them how to be ethical around it, when to put a stop. Most people say that there has to be some kind of control when it comes to AI. If not, it's going to get out of hand, and that is true. There's just so much power in AI that if there is no control, things can get out of hand. So as a scrum master, as an agile coach, or if you're in marketing or whatever, let there be some sense of ethics when it comes to using AI. Where are the boundaries that we're setting? Where can we get to and say, okay, up until here, let's take it on our own. Let's fact check the things that AI is giving us, just to be sure that we are okay with what is happening. Three, I think we have to empower our teams. We need the skills that AI gives to teach our teams. I organize team building sessions. Most times I bring different topics in the forms of games, so that my teams get to know what is happening when it comes to AI. My developers are not really into it, so it's a little bit complex, but I feel like my best bet is trying to organize sessions that are kind of informal to introduce important topics. It generates discussions, it generates questions, and then we start to find a way to learn more about it. And then continuous learning. I believe that when you teach somebody something, you don't just leave them there. Especially in the tech space, you keep learning, because everything changes like literally every day. So we need to continuously get new information, update the ones that we have, make sure that we are learning as time passes by, because every single day that passes, there's a new information. You want to make sure that you're updating your team on what is happening, what is going to work better for them. Probably what they learned last week is good, but something better came this week. You have to make sure that you're updated to the latest AI trends and how it's going to impact your team and agile methodologies as a whole. What are some of the ethical considerations and challenges? Like I earlier mentioned, AI is good and it's easy. It makes life really, really simple. But again, ethical considerations, there has to be some kind of control. Bias and fairness is one of them. So for AI to be able to give you the responses that you're looking for, you'd have to feed it with information. You'd have to give it data to work on. But you have to make sure that the data that you're giving it does not give you outcomes that are discriminatory. So most times, especially my company, we get top level managers who compare teams or whatever that they want to compare with what AI gives them. So we have to make sure that the information and the data that we're putting is correct. We are not putting in a way that the information that comes out at the end of the day, um, hurts some other person. I think that is a very, very important area. And then transparency and explainability. Most times, the results that AI gives is considered to be very, very correct. But it's good to always fact check, make sure that these answers are really true. Some AI models are able to give you below at the end of the answers where they got, the articles, like where they got the answers from this book, these articles, so that you can actually go there yourself and read and find out for yourself if everything is okay. And also, the answers that AI gives you should be, you should be able to explain them to people. The answers that you get, no matter how complex they are, you should be able to understand them, and the least person in our organization should be able to understand also. So you get the answers, you read through them, make sure that they're humanized enough so that every other person in the organization is able to understand the reports and make changes where it's necessary. And then there is data privacy and security. Sensitive data, this is an area that is really, really complex. In as far as many organizations want to get into AI, there is an area of data privacy. How much of the data that we're giving to AI is safe? How are we sure that hackers are not going to get into it, or our sensitive data does not get to the hands of the wrong people? So most times I'll tell people, before you consider imputing your company data into any kind of AI model, be sure that the company is okay with it. Okay, most companies have competitions. There are always competitions in the market, and you don't want to impute data that would risk your company. You don't want to impute data that will risk you risk your job, because you want to get things done easily. So it's very, very important that before you get to the point where you're thinking your company data and you're putting it on a random AI model, make sure you're consulting with management. Oh, is it okay if I use AI to do this? Because if you input that data in there, it does not disappear. You might not see it again, but it's still there. Some other person can have access to it. The internet never forgets. It always keeps something. And also, we should ensure the compliance with data privacy regulations, while leveraging AI to analyze vast amounts of data. So in some countries, I think EU already has compliance with data privacy when it comes to AI. Make sure that your organization complies with these regulations, and you don't do something that will just mess up the whole place. So please, if you get out of here today and you think, okay, maybe I should start doing small tasks using AI, make sure that you're investigating enough, you're asking the right questions and the right people, not to get yourself in problems or your company in a bigger problem. So, in conclusion, I want to say that AI powered agile is not just a trend, it's the future of work, or maybe not just the future, it is actually happening now, it is the present. So, by embracing AI's potential, we can unlock new levels of efficiency, innovation, and customer satisfaction, which I believe these are the key areas of companies. They want to get innovation fast, they want to get their customers satisfied, and efficiency also. With all of this put together, they are very, very sure of having a return on investment. However, it is crucial to approach this transition with a human-centric perspective. I was at a conference last week, and I remember one of the speakers said a company that he knows had laid off in a particular department half of his employees because of the arrival of AI. And he said that he told the guy that instead of laying off half of your employees, you would have helped them to do twice as much the work if they had used AI to reduce their workload. I don't know if it makes any sense. So if one employee is supposed to do reports manually, do testing manually, documentation manually, and because AI is here and you send that employee away, it doesn't make much sense, because with the use of AI, you could actually get AI to do these tasks and then get the employee to do double the work. So instead of telling 20 people to go, you could actually get those 20 people with the use of AI to do twice as much work as they used to do before. So it is very, very important that organizations understand that the formula is not people, AI minus people. The actual formula that works is AI times people. So people should be in the center of the assimilation process of companies when it comes to AI. It's not letting go of people because AI is here, because there's always going to be the need for human touch. There's always going to be the need for a human perspective. I saw a video on LinkedIn of a company that has a robot that works as a scrum master. And that was the most annoying thing I'd ever seen before. Okay, Stefania, I'm coming to you right now. That was the most annoying thing, because you could realize that the team members were just sitting there, and then the bots would just the robots would just move the tasks from one lane to another and then keep it going. There was the human factor of the scrum master was not felt in the space, and that's one thing that I would encourage organizations to always do. Consider the human factor when you're bringing in new people. Yes, please.